Howdy, you got Trevor back with a Matchbox customization this time. Not really a restoration. This car doesn't really need restoration. I'd already used nail polish remover to try to remove the tampons on this side and kind of messed it up. But I actually drive a 2011 Ford Crown Victoria Interceptor, and I love driving this car. Say what you want to, man. The cops have style when it comes to picking the cars. I mean, the new cars they drive are trash, the Explorers and the Tauruses. But Crown Vics, man, whew, it's a classy car, and it handles like a dream. You can throw it into a corner, and it handles like a Mustang, actually. I'm blown away by how it has a reputation for being like an old man car, and it just handles really well, and it rides beautifully. So I have these 2006 Matchbox Crown Victoria Interceptors, diecast cars, and I have a whole bunch of them. I got gray ones and blue ones and white ones and yellow taxi cab ones, and this was the white one that sat on my shelf for a while. That was kind of like the tribute to my own car, and I figured, well, why don't I just clean it up and make it my car by painting it white? So, you know, we drilled out the rivets. It's got two rivets, one in the front, one in the back. It's a pretty modern casting. You can actually still get a hold of these. They've changed the roof line a little bit. Not the roof line, but the roof holes. So here we got it apart. Put it in the vise to drill out the rivet post to put screws in. You can see the little two baby holes in the roof where the light goes in. Used caustic soda with a bunch of other cars, and that one was in there. Some lye drain cleaner that I got from Lowe's. I had to have got it from Lowe's. And there it is. And actually, I then decided there's another one that actually sits on the dashboard of my car, and it's a taxi cab model. So I stripped that one too. I was like, man, the one that sits on the dash of my car should look like my car. Because one time I was out playing a show with the band that I'm in, and there's a guy standing by my car, and he was like, I was wondering why he's sitting by my car, and he was like, oh, it's got a little car that's his car sitting on the dash of the car, and I'm like, yeah, that's my car, man. So to fill the holes, I put a little masking tape on the inside, kind of like you put the fiberglass sheet under the Bondo to kind of hold the Bondo in place if you were doing crappy repair on a car. We used Tamiya putty on the roof. My goal wasn't to make this perfect. It was just to make it a white car that looked a lot more like mine. Sanded down, filed down, and then sanded down the roof. This is the original one. Now you can see there the different hole is the other model. The one that sits on the dash of my car, and it actually has a gray plastic base, so I primed that base and painted it white. The original one that you saw at the beginning of the video actually already had a white base, so I just left the white base white. It's white plastic. Looks fine. So, yeah, we primered them up and we painted them with Tamiya spray paint. Painted them white, both of them. There's there's the actually, this might be the primer stage. I don't know. But there's the second one, the one that used to be blue, the one that goes on the dash of my car. It holds in place with a piece of Velcro. The police had left a piece of Velcro on the dash. I don't know what they had, affixed to the dash, but instead of trying to peel the Velcro off the dash, I just figured, well, I'll just put something on the dash. So the little baby Crown Vic sits on the dash. And I drive a Toyota Land Cruiser too in the wintertime, and there's a little baby Land Cruiser that sits on the dash of my Land Cruiser. So, yeah, that's part of my disability, I guess. Yeah, second coat maybe of white, or maybe the first stage was primer and this is white. I don't remember. I did a lot of filming, and we're just gonna keep going. Here's the one that I filled in the roof on. And I did speed these videos up a little bit. They're probably at 1.5 or 2.0 times the speed. So it looks like I'm painting really fast, but, my spray paint form isn't that gifted. I'm not able to hit it that fast. I'm not like painting guitars at the Gibson factory with decades of training. Second coat. Third coat, I don't know. This is on the one that used to be blue. We did some tack coating too. we did the primer, and then we did a tack coat, and then we did other coats. So you'll see me doing a lot of painting on these to try to get them as brilliantly white as possible. This is probably the final coats on these. I did put clear coat over both of them because, I don't know. All right, so that's the base of the one that used to be blue, and that is the one that used to be white that I filled in the roof on. So I used some 3M automotive plastic trim adhesive to glue the piece of Velcro back on the base. When I peeled it off, the adhesive back was kind of nasty, and that didn't really restore that one so much as I just wanted to paint it white. So I did no details on it at all, just painted it white. But the one that I filled in the roof lines of, this one, it's got a black interior and a kind of smoked glass. Very cool little die-cast car. So I did a little bit of detail to the taillights. You'll see me do the back valance. Some of this is off the frame, and I apologize for that. I need to definitely be better with that. Did the amber signals. You'll see that in a minute. Yep. But the Crown Vic I drive is a 2011. I bought it in 2016 with literally like 500,000 miles worth of use time on it. It had 12,000 idle hours and 150,000 miles or something, which added up to be like, I think they just left it running for 4 or 5 years. But it's actually a car that I bought. It was a car that serviced the city that I live in, Machesney Park, Illinois. So I saw they were putting them up for auction, so I had a automotive, like a used car sales dude who had a license to go to the auction. I told him this is the car that I want, and if you buy it for me, I'll buy it off you. So I thought it was cool. So I painted orange inside the glass first to see if it would show through, and it did. But then what I noticed is that the angle on the signal did not allow it to show through uniformly. So I did paint the outside of it with kind of the amber orange for the turn signals. But I've driven the car for 5 years now, and it runs great. I wouldn't say they took great care of it. A lot of maintenance that should have been done on it was not, but I have not paid a fortune in maintenance. They apparently really over-engineered these cars. This last generation of Crown Vics were like crazy well built. So it still drives great today. And the biggest thing now is the power steering pump kind of sounds like a supercharger because it's going bad. But, with the engine having been running that long, I don't know. Maybe it deserved it. So this is the one that used to be a taxi cab. It sits on the dash of my car. It's got a gray interior. It's got blue glass. It's not, I don't think it's as cool. The blue kind of windshield thing is not as great. But again, it's just meant to sit on the dash of my car and be the little baby car to my car. So putting it back together, we popped it back in place. I use 2 little baby Phillips head screws. Sometimes I use Allen head screws. Sometimes I use Phillips head screws. This one's not meant to be a great restoration, so the Phillips head screws were perfectly fine. They're just little 256 screws. We drill it, we tap it. We use a little bit of oil to kind of grease the post before we tap it out, and they go in place. And there it is. Here we are. I did not tap this one yet, so I filmed myself doing that. We use the lubrication oil that I use is actually meant for guitar tuners. So, that much oil in that container would last a lifetime unless you're a true guitar repairman, a luthier, which I am not. I'm just a hobby guy. So yeah, we put one little baby drop oil in the drill hole, and we use this little tap and this little chuck, and we snake them out. So yeah, I need to make all my camera angles like this. All right. When I was watching the footage that I already shot for this, I was like, man, I need to be better with that. And I only do this for fun. Restore these little cars for fun. or customize them in this case. This isn't even a restoration video. It's a customization video, but I just kind of did this as a, fun hobby. And it's easy and relaxing, and there it is. So I did use the Allen heads on this one, because again, this one's more of a tribute to the actual car that I drive. You will see that. I'm going to restore one of each car that I drive or have ever owned throughout the course of this. I did the Buick Regal already, and we're keep going. Yeah. Don't know why I walked away. Wasting time. Oh, because I left the windshield unit in the other room. Had to go get it. No need to stop the camera for that, right? Like when I cough, there's no reason to stop the camera for that either. Yep. I was sick most of the month of March, so now I'm kind of recovering and whatever. So the wheels on this car were a little better too. They're black and they're a little more deep dish, whereas the wheels on the taxi cab were, I don't know, ugly wheels. So I took the chrome off of those and we just made them black too. So we're getting it assembled. Tired of hearing me babble about this, so it's like about time we assembled it. Yeah. There it is. I painted the mirrors black, and then I painted the inside of the mirrors with the Molto Chrome pen. Painted the taillights with the Molto Chrome pen. Painted the grill black, because the grill on mine's black. I like the tinted windows. I did shave out the back windows, so just the pillar windows there. But I did that because I usually have all four windows down and not just the front windows down. This is a green light car, just like mine too. It's got holes in the roof as well. So here's the car that I restored to put in the windshield on the dash of my real, actual car. So, looks a little more convincing. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like it. Feel free to leave comment below. And thanks for watching.